Greetings from the Corporate Interface Cell and a very warm welcome to Business Edge 5.0, 6 Industries, 1 Podcast, presented by Park Avenue. The Corporate Interface Cell is the official business club of NMIMS ASM SOC that bridges the gap between the students and the corporate world. I am Hannah Mariam Paul, your host, and we are honored to have with us today Ms. Aparnasri Sastry, the Vice President of HDFC Bank. Ms. Sastry is an experienced and seasoned executive with around 2 decades of work experience in the banking sector. Her expertise lie in product and portfolio management, and in addition to this, she's seasoned in domains such as business analysis, business strategies, retail banking, and relationship management. During her extensive career span, she's worked with esteemed organizations like SBI, IDFC, and Citibank. Join us as we dwell into the professional journey of Ms. Sastry, the opportunities, challenges, and the future of the banking sector. We're looking forward to your insights, ma'am. Very excited to host you.
Absolutely, likewise here.
Shall we begin?
Yeah, we can start.
Okay. I'd like to begin by learning more about your role as Vice President at HDFC Bank and what attracted you to this domain of banking.
Sure. So basically, I am in the Merchant Services Department of HDFC Bank Limited. What do you mean by merchant services? It's payment acceptance. So the POS terminals, the QR codes, right? You, as a consumer, you swipe a card, you tap a card, right? You dip a card, you use UPI for the payment to merchants. You use link-based payments, right? So that is, we have a Smart Hub Vyapar app with HDFC Bank. Obviously the portfolio of merchants who are using the app and who are on that platform is something that I look after. So I'm responsible for activation, merchant engagement for the platform.
But what attracted you to this domain? Did you always want to do this?
So I'm a payments professional, right? I have been in payments I started my career in 2006. I think I started with payments in around 2010, right? From 2010, I have gone in for debit cards, credit cards, all on the issuing side. That means the cards that get issued to, consumers. That is what the side that I was working with. I wanted to look at the other side, which is the acceptance side, right? So I said that will kind of complete my journey as a payments professional. So that's where I said I'll go in for merchant acquiring.
That was wonderful, ma'am.
Yeah.
And since you worked, we were talking about HDFC, I know that you worked with SBI, IDFC, and Citibank.
Yes.
How has your experience across these situations, across these institutions, shaped your leadership style?
See, from a leadership style is primarily influenced by the leaders or the managers that we work with, right? And also, obviously, you would want to leverage the strengths that you see in them, and you want to emulate. You also don't want to emulate the weaknesses, right? So that has been a kind of approach that I have taken from a leadership standpoint. In State Bank of India, all my managers were 50 plus, right? And whereas in IDFC, Citi, as well as HDFC, they're more or less my age, right? So obviously the leadership styles are very different. So I've kind of tried to mix and match, right? So if you look at, if you actually look at an integrity, the value system, I think I take from my older leaders, right? They used to call me beta at that time, right? And, the savviness and the fun part of it is what I would, and the innovation part of it, the creativity part of it is something that I would, aspire to take from my age leaders, right? Around my age leaders. So I think it's a culmination of both. And I hope my team says the same thing about me.
Ma'am, since we talk about fun, is there any challenges you faced during the transition from public to private sector?
Yeah, in the a public sector organization. See, in any system, right? All of you must be feeling that in a public sector organization, I would leave office by 5, right? And there would be lunchtime, right?
Yeah.
because I was with State Bank of India, and these are stereotypes that are actually prevalent in the market. In my case, it was not like that. Across, my schedule was the same, whether it was in State Bank, whether it was in IDFC, whether it was in Citi, or whether it was in HDFC Bank. It is in HDFC Bank. So I then realized that it was not the organization, but me myself that was the problem, right? Right. But the major change, of course, in public sector bank, the first thing is a lot of paperwork.
Oh, okay.
Right? We have to write and write and write to get your proposals cleared. There is a particular hierarchy, and we have to follow the system. So in any organization, for that matter, right? But in HDFC Bank, I don't even have a printer attached to my laptop, right? Because I don't need to, because there's no paper that we generate. Again, it depends on the organization type, the time that I was there, the digital adoption at that particular time. Also understand that I'm not a digital native, right? I come from a time when there were no phones, okay? So I started my career in 2006. So you can understand, at that time, honestly, we had that chota Nokia phone, right? From there, now I wonder how we used to live without phones. So we've kind of seen that entire thing, and we've tried to adapt to the change. So that's how.
Ma'am, since we're talking about adaptations, now digitalization has become a huge part of our world. So how has the evolution been through all the banks you've been to? And like since you started at 2006, digitalization was not there, and now at HDFC it's so advanced.
See, I think it is about the banking sector. I think digital. Today we have, as I already said, you guys are already digital natives. So obviously a digital first approach is something that all of us started with. I think even during 2006, 2010, 2011, we were already talking about this. Digital payments were already starting, right? We had started with IMPS, and then it went on to UPI. We already had cards, which, if you remember, were being used only on the ATM. I'm giving you payments examples because that's what I have done, right? So debit cards were used only at ATMs. Where were they used? At POS terminals, right? Even the merchant acquiring space is probably only 15 years old. That's it, right? So if you're actually looking at the way the cards have evolved, today you're using it for e-commerce. We are talking about one-click checkouts, right? We are talking about the entire payments landscape that has gone on to QR, right? We're talking tap and pay. We're talking wearable payments, right? So many things that we're actually doing. Things have changed, and the best part about the entire digital transformation journey from the time I started to now, that it has been so dynamic. Some things, from a strategy point of view, you start with something, it may or may not work, right? So we have seen some things. Some people adopted UPI late. Some banks adopted UPI late. Some banks adopted UPI earlier. We have seen all those challenges, right? But finally, we are there where it matters. Okay, so we have to tweak our strategy dynamically. That's how this entire digital transformation has actually come about.
That's wonderful, ma'am. And since we're talking about digitalization, nowadays we see a lot of fintech startups and digital-only banking sectors. So how does HDFC stay competitive among the tech-driven world?
For any bank, for that matter, right? It is not us versus fintechs. It's not banks versus fintechs. We have to partner with them. If there is a solution that has come out that they have, cracked, right? We should leverage that solution rather than say, no, we'll create a solution of our own. It is just, there's no, you cannot just kind of say that we will start from scratch when there is already an expert over there, right? So the idea is to partner. And I think that is what all banks, including HDFC Bank,
does. Oh, that was a wonderful answer. So now moving on to our next topic, customer expectations. So nowadays, customer expectations is huge. Like anything goes wrong and it's all over social media. So in customer expectations in banking have evolved dramatically in the recent years. How does HDFC Bank prioritize customer satisfaction, and how does that compare to your previous experience in the bank sector?
Again, for all banks, customer satisfaction is extremely important. And the beauty about customer satisfaction is that, any kind of objective needs to be measured, okay? And the net promoter score is a measurement of the customer satisfaction. I think all banks adopt NPS. So they exactly know where it is, and NPS also kind of gives customer feedback constantly to the bank so that they can improve their systems, they improve their processes, and customer resolution tats. So that's the way customer satisfaction. And since once an objective becomes measurable, once that feedback loop is established, the processes are continuously improved. I think that's the way customer satisfaction goes. However dynamic it may be, or however high the customer expectations are, right? As long as we have that process in place, I think we're sorted.
That was lovely, ma'am. What are some of the new trends that you are currently observing in the banking sector, and how are you positioning yourself to adapt to those changes?
Personally, I think a very big change, and what we are all reading about, is generative AI. Uh, I think automation and generative AI will take up a lot of tasks that are already currently manual, increasing efficiencies. That is something that I'm trying to keep myself abreast, so that we have various use cases, not only from a merchant standpoint, but also from a banking standpoint. It is all pervasive. Obviously, the use of data and analytics is also very critical for us to have a customer one view. A consolidated view of that customer is something that every bank is actually looking at, right? I think that. And of course, going ahead, there will be cyber security challenges and fraud awareness, right? Because cyber criminals are continuously innovating as we are also innovating, right? So we need to catch up and be at their pace. I think these are three things that immediately come to mind when you're talking about what we're doing. And yes, personally, I'm also looking at the trends and trying to understand what's next.
Oh, did you have any past experiences where new trend came and something went wrong with it?
Uh, See, it is not about going wrong or right. So, as I already told you, the UPI adoption, right? Every bank was at its own strategic pace, and look at the way UPI exploded. Right at that time, every bank had to be there, and the people who were forward went ahead, and the other people caught up because there were as many customers over here, right? So it is about just kind of being, trying to be able to forecast the trend better and be able to manage that trend. That's what I think.
Experience also matters.
Of course. We will have hits and misses.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. Everything cannot be a hit.
Yeah. So, given your experience, how do you foresee the future of banking in India evolving in the next 5 years?
As I already said, I think I will actually repeat those statements, right? Where I already said that generative AI is something that I'm looking forward to. That's what is a trend that we will be looking at automating and use cases for AI. Obviously, mobile commerce is on this upswing, and I think that is going to be wearables. I think that's something that all of us are talking about. It has already started getting implemented in a big way. And as I already told you, I think the cybersecurity and these are the things. These are the trends that we're actually going, and the fintech partnerships, of course.
Ma'am, as a leader, how do you ensure your team remains motivated, agile, and innovative in such a heavily regulated industry?
See, the one thing from a team perspective is that we need to set clear goals. Okay, if the team is not aligned with your goals, that is where it is a problem. Creating a positive work environment, super critical. Without which motivation is really tough. Trying to give them special projects. So, for example, we kind of have these team ideating sessions or brainstorming sessions where we kind of give a problem statement to the teams and say, come out with your own ideas, right? And then we will see whether it's implementable, not implementable in the grand bank scheme of things. So those kind of things actually encourage creativity, giving them special projects, probably. getting them to, if I'm talking Gen AI, they also need to know about Gen AI. They need to read up about it. They need to attend some programs about it. So keeping them up to speed on the latest trends, encouraging them to read up a lot on the sector, and kind of giving them that direction that if you do this, this is where you're headed. That clarity, I think, is what the team seeks. So I think if all this is in place, I think the three things that you talked about, motivation, agility, innovation, gets taken care of.
Did you get this from your previous leaders, or you came up with this?
Obviously, I mean, I have to give credit to where it is due, right? All these things actually come only when you've seen somebody do it, you read up about it, or as I said, not make the same mistakes as what they did. So, yes, it's a mix. The credit is all theirs.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yours as well for your
Of
journey. Okay, ma'am. What is the most memorable project you have worked on, and what, according to you, were your valuable lessons?
The most memorable project that I have worked on, and it was an industry case, where we had worked along with my general manager in State Bank of India on RBI working group on second factor authentication for payments. So that report, we kind of had a representation from various banks, networks, etc. So I was kind of organizing everything end to end. Okay, including meetings, including minutes, including stakeholder alignments, actual report writing at the end. So I was kind of involved in that entire this one. And in fact, since you already, so I have written a few points. So that's since I said that the learnings, especially, I said that stakeholder alignment is key for such a project. Collab, okay, you guys call collaboration collabs. So collab is the name of the game, right? There was storytelling, narrative forming with sound logic, right? A report just can't be written. You obviously have to have integrity in capturing people's opinions or views, okay, and reflecting them correctly when you're actually writing the report. So that is something that was a huge learning from this entire project.
Oh, lovely, ma'am. Okay, so can you share an instance where you faced a major challenge in your career and how you led your team through it?
I thought about this, okay. I couldn't really come to a particular challenge. There are a number of small challenges that we keep coming across on a regular basis, right? The idea is to pivot at the right time. Okay, if something is not going right, your strategy has gone wrong. That is when you need to repivot with the existing thing in the best way possible. Have a task force if that needs to, task force in the sense just assign a couple of people dedicatedly about this particular problem or issue or challenge, whatever that means. Have a daily update about what is happening, because keeping track to solve the problem becomes extremely important in such cases. And at the end of it, have a go towards a proper solution. Again, align everybody that this has to be solved and this is the solve to the problem, and guide wherever people get stuck. So that is a continuous monitoring that we kind of do.
That was wonderful, ma'am. Ma'am, could you talk about the future of the crypto or anything about crypto? Your knowledge about crypto.
See, right now, since it is under the regulatory space in India, it is still to open up. Of course, I think the future is really dynamic. Anything could happen. I mean, I couldn't really comment on a specific crypto kind of a thing. I think I will be as your guess will be as good as mine. I think that's what I could say.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. As a woman in a leadership position, what words of encouragement and guidance would you offer to inspire and motivate young women to confidently pursue leadership roles?
You guys are young. So right now, we're all no holds barred, and we can do what we want, right? But as your lives, and depending on your decisions, all individual decisions that you take, at least in my case, I had a solid support system. I decided to get married, I had a kid, I had my parents who were my strong support, a spouse who's my batchmate, who's a tremendous source of strength, allowing things to happen, or the path to actually take forth. So that worked for me, right? For a lot of women, it doesn't work, but they make it happen. Okay, and they are the superwomen. Okay, for me, honestly, the support system was there. So they were my sources of strength. So I really didn't have much of a problem to pursue things. But I think the people who make it work, and at the end of it, I remember somebody who told me very clearly, especially after the birth of my baby, I said, how am I going to leave him and go to office? And she just told me one thing, and she said that the if you want to do it, just ensure you do it. Do not leave anything for regrets. Right? So if you have decided, it has to be your personal decision. It can't be anybody else's decision to actually do this. I think if you keep this particular principle in mind, I think you will make things work. Yeah. So I think that is my message to all of us girls here. That and nothing is rocket science. Everything is possible, and everything there is a way. There is a solution to every problem.
Ma'am, that was very empowering, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. As someone who has worked extensively in the banking sector, what advice would you give to our students looking to pursue banking and finance?
Keep an open mind. Okay. Depending on whatever. See, when you're going to start out, there may be things you may get that you didn't anticipate or you didn't want, right? But take it as a challenge, learn from it, and pivot when the time is right. Understand, I think that particular understanding of when to pivot, okay, will come only with a little bit of experience. So don't be in a hurry, right? Don't really, there's a lot of social media pressure these days. Don't compare yourselves to others, okay? And that's something that I'm telling you after almost 2 decades of experience, that there is no point comparing to each other. Each one of us are in our own journey, and nobody knows the problems or the issues that people face, right? So you're on your own journey. Make your decisions. Don't compare to others in this age of social media where there's a lot of pressure. Take on every challenge. Most importantly, enjoy the journey, and the path will follow. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's what I want to leave you with. And nothing is rocket science, okay? Just because somebody is an engineer, somebody is a commerce graduate, somebody has come from extremely esteemed universities, doesn't matter, okay? What actually matters is what you want to make out of it, what you want, and how well you're doing it, how well you're enjoying it. So that's what's my message for all of you. Irrespective of finance, marketing, whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. So thank you so much for your thoughtful and detailed responses. We've gained a lot of valuable lessons from your experience. So to keep the energy up, we'll now transition into a quick rapid fire round. So I'll be asking you rapid fire questions, and you'll have to say whatever you think first, or your first reaction. Shall we start?
Start.
Okay.
Let's
One
start.
leadership lesson you live by.
Never say die.
Never say that. Did you get it from someone?
No, that's the attitude. Never say die. Always remain positive.
If you could switch roles with anyone in the corporate world for a day, who would it be?
No one.
Yourself.
I already told you that.
Yeah,
I'm not comparing to anyone.
Love it.
Yeah.
Hidden talent most people don't know about you.
I think a lot of people know about it. I also sing.
Sing?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm into music.
If you could time travel, would you go to the past or to the future?
Let's remain in the present.
Your favorite part of the workday?
The fun times that I have with my team, going and pulling somebody's leg. I think that's the fantastic part. Apart from work, of course, it's not that work is not this one. I think 2 things: this fun part of it, and as well as the ideation, brainstorming thing that I talked about. I think
That seemed very interesting, actually.
yeah.
Okay, that was a great round. It feels like I've been the only one who's talking so far. So let's shift focus to what our audience want with our next segment, CIC Wants to Know.
Sure.
Okay. Does a particular movie or TV show resonate with you?
Yeah, of course.
Which one?
Which one? Basically, I love any kind of movie or TV show that shows sports,
Oh.
people who are experts or professionals and who make it big. Uh, the most recent movie that I saw was something called Once, which is a 2007 movie where this guy is so passionate about singing. I just love those kind of shows, which really truly inspire.
Inspires.
Yeah, so all the sports movies, and I'm heavily into K-drama, so I have a
Oh.
lot.
Do you have any specific ones you
Yeah,
like?
for this particular, if you're talking about the sports bit, 25-21 is amazing.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
watched it. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite character?
Kim Terry, of
Kim,
course.
it was very sad, honestly.
Yeah.
I wanted them to end
I
up-
didn't like the ending, but
Yeah, none of us did.
None of us like the ending. Yeah.
Okay. Does your day have a secret hack for handling an overflowing email inbox, or is it a perpetual game of catch
Oh,
up?
somebody told me this. I'm an email ninja.
Oh,
That's very bad, but the moment the email comes, it has to be disposed.
Oh.
There is a kind of an OCD. It's not a very good thing to have, trust me. You really don't need to be on your email, but somehow that OCD is there.
There.
So I'm not catching up. I'm always on top of it.
lovely. Does your career success ever shift your personal goals or dreams outside of your work?
No. That's why I'm here.
Lovely. Does failure teach you more than success in your leadership journey?
100%. Okay, but that doesn't mean that if success is not there, you get really depressed.
Yeah.
Right? So you will need your ups and downs, okay? It can't be continuous downs, it can't be continuous ups. But sometimes there are phases where you have continuous downs. So something you have to do, something you have to repivot to get to your up, okay? It takes time, but it happens. But I
Yeah.
think that is what teaches more than anything else.
But is there a particular failure that actually taught you a lot in life?
A lot of things actually. No, I mean, not necessarily in career, right? It could be even in various life stages where you experience certain failures and you say that, oh, it's okay. I mean, okay, we'll do better next time.
Next time.
That's fine.
And only when.
And honestly, these are all temporary. Always remember, after a down, there's always a up. And after a severe down, it has to go up. There's no other way to go, really.
And it only feels good when you go down to go up.
Yeah. You appreciate the up.
Up.
If it's only up, you stop appreciating
Appreciating.
it. Yep.
Does success look different to you now compared to when you started your journey?
100%. 100%.
Any-
I think my measure of success earlier was complete financial independence earlier because I come from a middle class family, and our entire goal was to make it, let's kind of become financially independent and kind of have do all the exciting things in life and stuff like that. And now I realize that no, I think it's more about being with family, enjoying your things, ticking off your bucket list, enjoying whatever you want to do. And it's so what we started was actually not where I ended.
It's totally different right now.
Completely different. Yeah, I think I wouldn't even classify it as happiness, but whatever gives you enjoyment. Yeah. Oh my God.
Ma'am, those are wonderful answers. To keep the momentum going, let's get a little creative with our emoji round.
Oh my God. Will I be able to do this?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
giving it to you right now. So you'll have to express your thoughts with these emojis, which is face palm,
Okay.
okay, angry.
Okay. So that comes into my hand now.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll
And
give
you
it
will
to
tell
her.
something, and then I'm supposed to flash an emoji.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Shocked,
Okay.
and then there's no comments,
Okay. I'll put that first. Okay. Then.
and then there's happy.
Okay.
Okay, here you go, ma'am.
This was shocked, no?
Yes. That's no comment, and the first one's happy.
Got it.
Ready?
Ready?
Okay. Describe the future of digital payments in India with an emoji. Happy. If you could sum up your work-life balance in one emoji, what would it be?
What's this?
That's also happy. What emoji best describes your reaction to new challenges in life?
Can't be happy always, no?
Yeah.
Oh no, again. This came again.
What's your mood on a Monday morning? No. Okay. How do you feel when you close a tough deal?
There's no exulting here, so it's happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you feel when someone overlooks an important detail in a big project? Okay. What's your reaction when a last minute deadline is dropped onto you unexpectedly? Again, yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Emoji
But
round.
that's actually like this. It's that only.
That's really- I have to say, ma'am, the emoji round really added some fun to our chat. With the energy still high, let's move on to the last part of our podcast. Now that we've explored so much on your professional journey, let's get to know more about you. So, our next segment called Beyond the Boardroom. Okay, so the first question, what's the number one thing on your bucket list?
I just ticked it. So we went for the Coldplay concert in Singapore.
Oh my God, we are very
And now they're coming here, so I didn't get tickets here. So
Oh, but you got to go in Singapore.
yeah, we
ma'am.
went. This
How
was an item on our bucket list.
was it very nice? Loved it.
Amazing experience, no doubt about it.
Did you try to get the tickets here?
Yes, of course we tried.
Oh,
Went all the way, and I stay in Kharghar.
yeah.
So now they're coming to DY Patil. It's like they're coming home. So obviously I'll get to try the tickets, but we had not got.
Yeah, we're all disappointed, man.
Yeah, I know.
What are some hobbies or interests that help you unwind after a busy day in banking?
So I said music is where my interest lies,
Nice.
and I in fact learn now also along with my son. I think that listening to music, singing helps me to unwind.
What music are you learning right now?
Actually, I'm a classical trained singer, Carnatic classical. Now I'm learning Hindustani.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
If you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Too serious. You were just too serious, man. I mean, I think that's what I would tell my younger self. You should have enjoyed more.
Chill a bit.
Yeah, chilled a bit. Yeah.
Okay. How do you unwind or recharge after a busy day at work?
Right now it's K-drama.
Which one are you watching right now?
Right now I'm watching What Comes After Love. It's a Korean-Japanese
Oh.
thing.
Do you take a long time to finish?
Yeah.
And
Because I have a very big travel.
oh, okay.
I travel from Kharghar to Parel. So it's a 1.5 hour journey. So obviously 3 hours. So that's when I catch up with. That's how
K-drama.
I unwind. Yeah.
Okay. Who has been your greatest mentor or role model throughout your career and why?
They're a tough one, yeah. Actually, there are so many, right? And the best part about it is that each one of your colleagues, each one of your managers, there's something to learn about each one of them. So I would not single out anybody, but I'm still in touch with everybody,
And
right? So I think that's kind of what really matters to me. So there's been no single.
single one. Multiple. Learned every one.
Yeah,
thing.
always learning, continuous learning,
Learning, yeah.
from various people. I even learn from my youngest teammates,
Yeah.
right? Especially on the chilling part, which I already said. I said I need to be super chill. I look at a lot towards them to achieve that.
Yeah, we are little too chill, ma'am. We need to
Yeah,
get
but
more.
yeah, so it's a give take, right? You give some so that I can
Exactly.
pass on something to them. So
Yeah.
that's what I do.
So, ma'am, I've been the one asking questions so far, but now I'd like to switch the tables. Could you share a thought-provoking questions for our audience to answer on the comment box for our social media platforms?
Okay, what is work-life balance for you guys?
Lovely. They will comment below.
Yeah, let them comment. Yeah, what is work-life balance for you, right? I think it's the most hot topic right now, running over various media. So I just want your thoughts on it. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing your insights on the ever-evolving banking sector. And it's exciting to see how HDFC stands out among their competitors. Not competition, stands out. And I would love to see what you do in the future too.
Sure. I look forward to seeing all of you do great.
Ma'am, it has been truly a pleasure to host you on Business Edge 5.0, and it was lovely hosting you.
Yeah, likewise.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, all the very best to all of you.